For the past week, I've been working on some pretty interesting stuff pertaining to energy. Wow, my head just exploded with so many things to say. I gotta try and break this down in a way which would make the most sense, and yet I don't want to spend all day talking about it. Just to get into this video will be on dealing with one of the first bodies which will actually allow you to channel life force energy. Because you need life force energy. You need it to come into the body in a very specific way. That way, it will then access your navel chakra, otherwise known as the second chakra or the sacral chakra. Okay. A Sanskrit word is the I can't pronounce that word properly. Swadhisthana. There are so many words for it. But ultimately, it's in charge of a lot of the emotives, a lot of the emotions which dictate your life. But more specifically, more importantly, actually, in my opinion, the most important aspect of this specific chakra is that it converts prana into chakra energy, along with emotional energy. So this video will be pertaining to unblocking your pranic body. In a sense, you can call this chi, you can call it ki or life force, you'll be correct. No matter what you use to describe this energy, one thing prevails, and that is it's very important because it's going to increase your lifespan and the overall functionality of your physical anatomy, your astral body, your chakra system, your kind of life body in a sense, which is your ability to channel this ki. And so real quick, what is all this about? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I decided to go deep into exploring my chakra system and actually rediscovering a lot of energy pathways within my being. If you've seen the How to Feel Chi flow out of the hand, I think it just got 100k views on my YouTube channel. But before we get you onto those more crazy feeling, heat, temperature rising or lowering aspects of ki, it's a great video. It will allow you to actually sense what I'm talking about here, this prana. And I have you basically blow at the back of your hand and feel the air coming out of your palm, and then you move your head out of the way and you do the same thing, acting as if your head was still facing towards your hand, and you blow out when it still feels like it's coming out of your hand. That video is very important because today what we're going to be dealing with is actually an extension of that meditation, right? One more thing before I talk you through this process. I'm going to have to stop teaching everyone on YouTube how to do these exercises after a specific point, because these meditations are for the spiritual adult, someone who's really committed and someone who's really serious about their spiritual development. Because what I'm going to give you will allow you to see in the dark and see auras and have somewhat psychedelic experiences where you're closing your eyes and seeing geometry and a bunch of rainbow colors. Yeah, definitely you'll get that. So don't worry about it. You're not missing out on too much. But the rest of the stuff is a little tough to digest in regard to what you'll be experiencing, because what I'll be waking up inside of you. And so those videos pertaining to purification rituals and unblocking emotions that actually tie up the chakras and how you're holding on to grief the entire time, there's just so much more to it. Those videos I'm going to put all in one place. I'm going to put them over on Patreon, okay? There's a very specific reason for that. It's because I know that when people are committed, then they're willing to pay for the information. Now, to me, that's basically like a form of consent. Like, I'm consenting to your knowledge, I'm taking responsibility for what happens to me in the preceding future, due to me learning your meditation practices. And so I'm going to set it up in a very specific way on my Patreon. But you'll get videos 1, clearing the pranic body, allowing you to channel chi, which will then stir up your second chakra, your navel chakra. And the second video you'll get is the activation of the nervous system, which will then support your emotional body. It's very good when you do that. You feel very electrical. You'll also get the third video, which is breaking up of the chakra system. That's very interesting because when you do that, it kind of feels like you're possessed. Sounds scary, don't worry about it. It's not. It's just you trigger a specific pattern of movements within your body, which then causes the body to move in a very specific way, which breaks up the chakra system. It's kind of like a light massage too. Light massage. And so you'll also get fourth category when it comes to this list, which would be the Merkaba. All right, I'm going to give you 2 videos on the Merkaba. One which would be an instructional video on how to really look at it, pulled straight from Deruvalo Melchizedek. And the second will be a guided meditation. All right, that'll be enough for you to start seeing weird things within your environment and actually rediscovering. This is like a revolution. You're going to be rediscovering what the chakra system actually feels like, which is quite different from imagining it, you know? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, so you're just going to get clearing, activation of the nervous system, which also deals with eye movements. I forgot to mention that a second ago. Thirdly, third video would be breaking up the chakras. Fourth, Merkaba. Okay, so let's get you into this. Anyone who wants to do the rest of these exercises, then you can head on over to Patreon and I'll set up specific tiers where whoever pays a certain amount will then be showing me that they're serious about the next step, and so they'll have access to a whole new slew of videos. And within those videos you get purification rituals, which are very intense. You'll get unblocking your emotions in a very specific way, which deals with, that's like a 3-part piece, which deals with movement, deals with your lungs, it deals with water rituals and practices. You'll get the peeling back of the emotions that are attached to the chakras, because when we go through traumas, that actually messes up our chakra system. As soon as you peel back one of those traumas, all of a sudden your body will be filled with specific types of energy, which is very weird to experience. And then you'll be going through a grief system, a grief program, where I'll be teaching you how to deal with different forms of grief within different areas of your life, because grief is very important when it comes to clearing all of the energy out of the system. A lot of people don't know how to grieve. Okay, we've been blocked in regard to society getting in the way of our grieving process. Now, there are a few things, real quick before I go into today's video, that I'm going to talk about here in regard to grief. There are 5 stages to grief. You've got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I'll say that again. Denial, anger, bargaining, and depression, and acceptance. You can relate grief to specific areas of your life. Denial, let's take denial for example. You've got denial within relationships. You've got denial within your family dynamics. You've got denial within your friendships, you know, how they're actually panning out. Denial of circumstances, this is like circumstantial denial. And you have denial of oneself, okay? You can take anger and attach anger to all of those things that I just mentioned. You can take bargaining, you know, questioning yourself, convincing yourself out of an opportunity in life. So you can take bargaining and put those to all of the things I just mentioned. You can take depression and acceptance and do the same thing. You see, we stop at specific stages of grief within these areas of our life, and we don't fully unload properly. And so that also has a dramatic effect on our chakras, our energy system, and how we're able to actually accept life in a very specific way, and in turn start channeling life in a very specific way and lightening up our bodies. So let's get into today's video. I'm Ryan James Cropper. Let's record this video again for the 3rd time. But first, I need to make some room. I think I'm gonna move some things. This is so freaking cool. Okay, so real quick, there are some things you're gonna need to know in order to do this, and that is your wrist movements, okay? You bring your wrists in, it changes everything. You bring your wrists out, it changes everything. So try that out, just get used to just moving your wrists for a second, okay? Or you just try and move your fingers down and up, facing the ceiling down towards the ground. Alright? It's pretty cool. Huh? First thing we do, we shake up. Do this every morning to it. It's really great. It makes you feel amazing. So you just get up, you jump around. You just shake your body basically and you feel good. Don't worry about anything that's been bothering you. Just shake it off, right? Give yourself a little bit of a massage. Jump up and down. Then breathe and just stay still. Stay dead still. Try not to move. You'll notice that your center of balance might be a little off, so you'll find yourself moving backwards and forwards. Or maybe you're going in a circle, right? Or maybe you're moving side to side. This is because your prana is surrounding your body in a very specific way. Maybe it's moving up your back too fast, or it's moving down your front too fast. Maybe it's moving up one side of your energy system, you know, and slow up the other side, so it's making it do this. Yeah. So we're gonna correct that for you. You've probably done this before. It deals with feeling your energy, right? Take your left arm, stick it out. Your left arm. All right? And what I want you to do is I want you to just relax it a little bit. Not all the way up, just a little relaxed. Take your right hand and move it down your arm and then back up again. You should feel that it wants to go down faster than it wants to come up. Now those of you out there who are saying this is just gravity, then bring your arm a little bit further up, but then go up with your right hand, and you'll notice that still your hand wants to go up faster than it wants to go down, okay? Now this is based on the position of your wrist. Because, for example, if I move my wrist a little bit this way, and I go up and down, my hand wants to go up, my arm, faster than it wants to go down. If my wrist is a little bit more like this, having my fingers facing outward within the direction of my arm, instead of the direction of my head, my hand wants to go down, my arm faster than it wants to come up. This could very well be because when you do this, because you can actually see this energy if you get a torch, a flashlight, and then you project it, and then you see your hand on the wall, you'll be able to see the energy. It flows up the hand, it flows up the head, it tends to move in an upward direction, out of the skull and out the tips of the fingers. All right, we're like dancing flames in a sense. Here's the fun bit. Take your hand, right hand. Let's bring it back over the left arm, down. Bring it over, and then back down again. Don't come up too close to your arm. You're going against the current. Look at it like seeing a stream of water, and you're doing this down the stream, making that water flow down much faster. We need a quick stream of energy throughout our system in order to encourage the unfoldment, the unblockaging of the pranic body, all right? A lot of people will go up and feel that resistance and think that they're building energy, but then that will only ever block your energy system even more. We need a quick current. And so you do this, right? You come around, you're feeling it, you're feeling your hand want to go down by itself, put little to no effort into this in the beginning. Then you speed it up. Bend at the elbow, you can really build some speed. And then you feel it shooting out. Not only that, but you'll feel you'll feel the influence of the prana in other extremities of your body also flowing out through that left arm. And so if you want, you can do what I did in the Chi video where you use your breath. You can do this and you can blow at the same time. And you'll feel the same effect. Okay, so let's try that a few more times. So you'll feel that your shoulder might be a bit clogged up. It's because you're moving all this energy, but you've got a bend in the pipe. So you take your left hand this time and you just feel how your hand wants to go down the arm and you just wave away the tension. And then you lift your arm up, do it even more. And you feel it coming out. It feels really good, guys. Then you shake off. Let's get into the rest of the video. Let's start playing with the rest of the body. We're gonna deal with the midsection, the upper portion of the body, and the lower portion, and eventually the head before we close down. Let's start with the midsection. what I want you to do is I want you to lean forward just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Take your hands and kind of rotate the wrists inward a little bit, kind of like you're asking for something. Lean forward and just move your hands up the body like this. Straight away I noticed it. It felt like my hands really wanted to travel up, defying the laws of gravity towards the ceiling. And when I come down, there's a bit of resistance there. Okay, not much, because my body's quite clear. Your body will become like this too, given enough practice. And so you can either do this, which doesn't feel too good, or you can do this. Yeah, that. As long as you're feeling some form of it going up, of your hands wanting to come up, it's good. Okay, this is great too because it gets your blood moving quite a bit. Now the other version of that is your hands are pointing down, like so. And it's kind of like you're bouncing a basketball. So you're just doing this. Ooh, that one's so much better. You'll know you're doing it right because you feel fantastic. Kind of exhausted if you do what I just did and hold your breath. Try not to do that. You can also just do one hand. That works. And you'll feel too that when you do one hand, you're waving the energy up and it's coming up one side of the body. So try that out in your spare time if you've been doing it whilst I've been doing it. That's also awesome. That being said, let's do the head real quick and try this at home too. Try and follow along. So take your hands, bring them up to your head, okay? Do you feel your hands wanting to move up? Come down a little bit of resistance there. Don't try to create the resistance, just notice what's happening. Come up, back down a little bit. All right, now watch this. Bring your hands to your ears. You'll notice that your hands want to go down your back. There's a fine line there where the energy coming down the back is very different compared to the energy coming up, of course, because it's going in two different directions. And when you use your hands, you're actually able to sense the shift in energy. Okay? So what we do here is we basically come up, and we just go out. Up and out. Okay? That feels really good too. You see here, you need some speed. Speed-wise, it doesn't matter if you're doing it really quick, then you lose traction, you lose that resistance, it's okay. You're supposed to be able to lose that sense of what you're feeling the faster you're going because it becomes quite slippery. That's because the energy is coming out of you so fast. You'll know when you're doing it right because when you stop, again, you feel good, but not only that, but you feel this tremendous surge of energy coming out of the body. That's how you'll know when you're doing it right. You'll know when you're getting deep because the rest of your body responds. So again, the hands are up here. Keep doing it, all right? Let's do that for like 10 seconds. All right, good. Shake off a little bit. Do your shoulders. And actually wave it out like you're using a fan. Don't keep your wrists stiff. Okay? Now we're gonna do the back of the head. This one's definitely one of my favorites. Take your hands. Bring them here where you can feel it, okay? Coming down. You simply just do that. All right? It's like you're waving the energy down your spine, one hand at a time. Feel free to move your hands around your body, noticing how when you do little things like that, you can feel the energy rising, or you can feel it dropping. And feel free to come up with your own movement even, to help wave away the pranic energy. And again, this is so that you unblock the prana flow, which comes into the head, through the nose, through the eyes, the ear, and the mouth, down into that second navel chakra, okay? That will then allow this energy to build up within that system, later on when we do the other exercises. And you'll notice it working because you'll start feeling heat within that system. Now with the legs, you can't see mine, but do what I'm doing anyway. You should be able to feel exactly what I'm going through. And bend your knees a little bit. If you're near a wall, put your tailbone against the wall, okay? So that you're kind of leaning forward a little bit. Take your hands, fingertips facing down towards the thighs. You'll feel that you kind of want to be pulled forward. That's great. Then what you do, you probably guessed it, is you wave your hands down that part of your body, basically towards the genitals. Just don't get too close. You might bell tap yourself or just punch yourself in the nuts. Don't do that. So we wave. You can do two, like flying like a bird, or you can just do one hand at a time. It's entirely up to you. But you'll notice the same thing. My favorite ones though, to help fix the legs, is simply just to work up here, which is weird, right? Why would you work up here? Well, when you start doing stuff like this, you'll feel it going down your spine, shooting down your legs into the ground. And it's the same with this one. You'll also feel it coming up the front of the legs, up and over your head. Alright, so I'm Ryan JC, Ryan James Cropper. This has been Your Potential. Subscribe for more videos like this. The next video will be on, I believe, activation of the nervous system. This deals with specific eye movements, which can increase your intelligence because it supercharges up your brain. It also allows you to see in the dark, making light quite sensitive during those practices. Stay tuned for more videos like that, and if you want to check out my Patreon page, I'll leave the link to that in the description below. I'll speak to you all pretty soon. Peace.